True Blue Nation. Dodgers Report.
Silence. It's dangerous. The silence of those who just won everything back to back. We look at that trophy, we look at the parade, the championship hangover, and we think everything is fine, that the work is done. That is where the danger lives. Complacency, comfort, because while we celebrate, while we rewatch the highlights of the 2025 World Series, the clock doesn't stop. Baseball waits for no one, not even the champs. And there is a problem, a silent problem hidden at the bottom of the roster, a name that is jamming the gears. He's not a villain, far from it, but he is a burden. And we need to talk about this right now before the trucks leave for Arizona, before the first pitch is thrown at Camelback Ranch. Look at the Los Angeles Dodgers today. What do you see? A machine, a fortress. Andrew Friedman has built something bordering on perfection. We have a 40-man roster that is packed, filled to the brim. You couldn't fit a needle in there. They brought in Ryan Fitzgerald. Okay, depth move. We got Edwin Diaz. The Narcos trumpets arriving to shut the door. Spectacular. A dream scenario. 7 out of 8 starters returning. Ohtani, Yamamoto, Glasnow, Snell. It's a rotation that looks like a video game, but have you stopped to think about the cost of this? Not the financial cost, the opportunity cost, the cost of space, because there is an elephant in the room, and it's not small. We look at the market, we see names floating around. Bo Bichette, Kyle Tucker, Cody Bellinger. That old friend, your heart skips a beat, doesn't it? We imagine Belly back in the Dodger blue. We dream of Bichette locking down the infield, but then you wake up, you look at the spreadsheet, at the clubhouse. Where are they going to sit? Who leaves so they can enter? The math is cruel. The 40-man roster is a game of musical chairs where the music stopped and there aren't enough seats. And if we want to dream, if we want to make that checkmate move, that move that brings the entire league to its knees, we need space. And to create space, someone has to be sacrificed. Here is where the conversation gets tough. Here is where the human side crashes into the business side, because there is a guy who arrived with a promise. He arrived in the middle of the chaos last year. Remember the 2025 trade deadline? We were looking for pieces, looking for that edge, and we brought in Brock Stewart, came from the Minnesota Twins, cost us James Outman. That hurt, didn't it? Losing Outman stung the soul of a lot of people, but the logic was solid. Stewart had elite numbers in Minnesota. 2.33 ERA. The guy looked like an out-getting machine. Theoretically, on paper, he was the missing piece for a bullpen that was bleeding. We needed stability, needed someone to come in the 7th inning and say, relax, I got this. Friedman bet on that. He looked at the numbers and said, this is the guy. But baseball isn't played on paper. It's played on grass, on dirt, and mostly in the head. What happened when Stewart put on the blue? What happened when the pressure of Los Angeles fell on his shoulders? 4 games, just 4 games, that's what we saw. Less than 4 innings pitched, an ERA bordering on my 5 ERA, shoulder injury, IL, and silence. The team went to the playoffs. The team marched to glory. The team hoisted the trophy. And Brock Stewart, where was Brock Stewart? He became a luxury spectator, a World Series champion. Yes, technically. The ring goes on his finger. His name is in the history books. But what was the real contribution? 0 or close to it. And here we are, January 2026, looking forward, and he is still there, occupying a spot, locking down a position on the 40-man. And you have to ask yourself, is it worth it? Is it worth keeping the bet alive? The hope that he turns back into the Twins' Brock Stewart? Or is this the sunk cost fallacy? You know what that is, right? When you've already spent so much on something that you're afraid to let go, even knowing it won't give a return. We paid a high price. Outman is gone. Paul Gervais came along, sure, but the centerpiece was Stewart, and it failed. not out of malice. The body failed. The adaptation failed. It happens. But the Dodgers is not a place for it happens. The Dodgers is a place for certainty. Before I go on, before I tell you who's knocking on the door and why keeping this guy is a huge risk for the locker room, stop for a second, breathe. If you feel this anguish, this desire for the team to be perfect, for every piece to work like a Swiss watch, you are one of us. This is being true blue. This is understanding that yesterday's victory doesn't guarantee tomorrow's lunch. So hit that subscribe button now, smash the like, because we don't sugarcoat things here. We speak what needs to be spoken. We build this channel together. Every comment, every like is a brick in this construction. Come with me back to it. Look at our bullpen right now. Look at the future. We have hungry young guns, wolves waiting for a chance to hunt, Justin Robleski, Emmett Sheehan, River Ryan, kids with electric arms, kids who grew up in the system, who know the culture, who don't need to adapt. They are banging on the door. They are screaming for an opportunity in spring training. They look at the list and see the name Brock Stewart, a 34-year-old veteran who barely played, who got hurt, and they think, why him and not me? This creates noise. This creates doubt. You have Roki Sasaki fighting for the 5th rotation spot. You have an absurd depth of pitching. Keeping Stewart is blocking the natural flow of things. It's damming up the talent. It's telling the farm system, wait a little longer. We have to try to salvage this veteran. It's a dangerous message, and there's more. The tactical question. The Dodgers need flexibility, need people who can go up and down, need options. Stewart, right now, is a question mark. Is he healthy fully? Will the shoulder hold up? And if he starts the season and fails again, we lose time, we lose games, and in a competitive division, every game counts. Remember last year, the bullpen had moments of panic. Tanner Scott wavered, Kirby Yates struggled to replicate the numbers, even Trinan, Vizier, Banda. They all had dips in performance. We survived, we won, but it was on the edge. It was a tightrope walk. Do you want to enter 2026 with that same uncertainty? With a piece you don't fully trust? I don't. I want to reach the 9th inning or the 7th with absolute certainty. The solution is harsh, but it's necessary. Trade Brock Stewart now before pitchers and catchers report. Oh, but who will want him? You'd be surprised. There's always someone, always a rebuilding team, a team that looks at his 2024 numbers and says, I can fix him. I can bring that guy back. Baseball is built on hope and on ego. Many GMs think they are smarter than their neighbor. They think they saw something the Dodgers missed. Let them think that. Let them try. If we get anything in return, a low-level prospect, international slot money, or even just the salary relief and the roster spot, it's already a win. It's already profit. Imagine the scenario. Stewart leaves. The spot opens up. Suddenly, Scott Barras's phone rings. Hey, let's talk about Bellinger. Let's talk about Bichette, or more realistically, hey, Harrison Bader, there's a spot for you in the outfield here, because we need help in the outfield. Conforto is gone. Thank God, let's be honest. Kiki Hernandez is broken. Surgery recovery, we need bodies there. Andy Pages and Teoscar need support. Someone to catch the ball, someone to run. Stewart is an extra pitcher on a team that needs a right-handed bat. It's a question of balance. The yin and yang of the roster are off with him there, but there is the fear. There always is. What if we trade him and he goes to, I don't know, the San Diego Padres or the Giants and has a Cy Young caliber season as a reliever? What if he becomes the monster we thought he would be? That is every fan's nightmare, seeing the X shining in a rival's jersey. It's the risk you run. It's the cost of doing business. But would you rather live with the fear of what if, or with the certainty of mediocrity in your own backyard? I prefer the risk. I prefer betting on my guys. I prefer giving the ball to Sheehan. I prefer seeing what Robleski can do in a full season because their ceiling is the sky. Stewart's ceiling, we've already seen it, and it was a low ceiling with leaks and shoulder pain. Friedman has to be cold. He usually is. He doesn't get attached. But sometimes a mistake is hard to admit. Trading Stewart is admitting that the Outman trade didn't work as expected. It is admitting a partial defeat, but great managers swallow their pride. They cut the dead weight to save the body. The Dodgers are bigger than any player, bigger than any evaluation error. The championship window is wide open. The wind is in our favor. We cannot let anything get in the way, not feelings, not empty hope. So what is the verdict? Stay or go? For me, the bag should already be packed. The Uber should already be at the door. Thank you for your services, which were few. Thank you for trying. But this is Los Angeles. The standard is different. The patience is short, and the line is moving fast. Now, I throw the ball to you down below in the comments box. I want to see blood. I want to see passion. Do you keep Brock Stewart and pray for a miracle? Or do you ship him out and clear space for the new, for the unknown, for glory? Tell me who you would bring for this spot. The Bellinger dream, the safety of Bader, or the youth from the farm. The debate is open and the clock is ticking. The 2026 season is coming, and it won't have mercy on those who hesitate.